Hello, hello. Danny Garola here with Pink Barn Stamper. We are live here in Tucson, Arizona, and what a beautiful day it has turned out to be today. It it's very, very sunny right now. I do see some clouds moving up from the south, but the last couple of days we have had so much rain. The clouds have just moved in, and during the evening it gets really dark and um, just kind of dreary outside, but it's beautiful. My plants are loving it. So couple days ago, we had quite a big power outage. So it was my mom's birthday on Friday. And so she had a eye appointment that she had to go in and go to. So I went with her and we decided to do some shopping afterwards. And then we went to, I took her for her birthday to buy some fish for her new fish tank that she has. So she has decided to do cichlids in her tank. So we went to a specialty shop here in town. So I got her some really neat fish. And so she has her tank set up and having a blast with it. It's just beautiful. But as we were going to the fish store, there was a alert that went off on our phones, and our phones are just going crazy, telling us that there are storms. While as we're driving, you can see just lightning like crazy in town. It was insane. Well, then we go to the fish store, we pick out our fish, whatnot, we go to head home, and my phone goes off again. Well, then her phone goes off. So my stepdad is texting her and letting her know that the power was out, as my husband's texting me and letting me know that the power is out. Well, at this time, power had already been out for about an hour at our house. And it's very, very rare, number one, for our power to go out at all. And then two, for it to be out as long as it was. Because normally power's out on the rare, very, very rare occasion that we lose power. It's normally maybe out for maybe half hour, 45 minutes. Nothing, not a big deal. Nothing that we can't, deal with. And so Friday, though, it was a whole different story. Power lines, I guess they had a pretty big microburst come through over at one of the little markets over here, and it knocked down quite a few power poles behind the little store. And so it knocked out all the grid around here of our power. So our power was out, I think it was 10:30 at night. And they text us, I think it was probably around like 4:30, 5 o'clock, that they had texted us and let us know that the power was out. And so they so as we're leaving the fish store, they then call us when we're almost to our side of town, and they're like, hey, I think you might need to stop and get pizza. So we had to stop and pick up pizza for them as well, because we do have gas stoves, but to get the gas stoves going means that you have to, or gas ovens, whatever, stove oven, it would mean that you have to heat the house up. Well, it's already, you're down for that many hours with no AC. Your homes start heating up, especially here in Tucson. So as I'm coming home, my husband's out in the RV in big old BBB, and he's already got the ACs going in it. The generator runs all the things in that. And so when I got home, we were in the house. He had a generator outside running the electric inside of our house. So they had a couple of lights and a couple of fans that they could run. But when I brought food home, we sat in the house and we ate dinner, and then we went to the RV, because by that time it was probably about like 8:30 at night, and my husband's normally in bed around 8:30, because he's got to get up at 2:30 in the morning to go to work. So we decided to go sleep out there, because it wasn't like miserable hot like it would be during the day, but it was still hot enough that you were like, ugh, I can't sleep like this. We've got this really thick comforter anyways, but with our AC running, it's normally fine. We don't have a problem. So we all four of us head out to the RV. We stayed out there. My son was asleep almost immediately. My husband went to sleep almost immediately. Well, then I started freezing. I know, crazy, right? But our ACs in that RV get so stinking cold that I couldn't get comfortable. I was cold. I was just like, this is driving me nuts. I need to be in my home. I've been gone all day. So we I go to look out the window of the RV, and I was like, is that really a light that I see over in the house that's on? So this was about 10:30, power came back on. So we decided, instead of wasting the gas in the generator out in the RV and waste the gas in our generator for the house, because we had to also plug in our freezers, we had to plug in our refrigerators, because we didn't want all of our food to spoil, because they weren't quite certain that they even knew where the problem was. I mean, they knew that those power poles went down, but they had found one problem, and when they tried to fix it, there was another problem. So we had no idea, because I do know last week, earlier in the week, they did have a storm come through in town, which knocked power out for a full week. So, you know, we didn't want our food to perish. We didn't want to have to deal with any of that. So that's why we hooked the regular generator up outside to keep freezers and fridges and all that. But I was like, hey, we need to go over to the house. We need to reserve our gas, because the RV is diesel. And then the generator that we have, it can run off of propane, regular gas, and then ethanol. It's one of the big ones that can run off of 3 different fuels. So we, at 10:30 at night, I'm waking my husband up because he has to get up and go to work at 2:30 in the morning. So he's, you know, trying to get us all moving again, get that RV shut down. And it was just crazy, crazy week or day, actually. And then we had a pretty good weekend. We didn't have really much going on, but that kind of exhausted us, just having to do all the things, because then the next day you kind of play cleanup with now moving the refrigerator and the freezer and all that and plugging it back in as you would normally, and, you know, cleaning your house up from things being moved all around. I see quite a few of you guys coming in here. Hello, Melanie. What do we have going on here? Let me see. It looks like we have Melanie. It is Melanie's husband's birthday. Happy birthday, sir, Mr. Foy. I hope you were having a very wonderful day. And it looks like we have Vicky in here. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Georgia. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Kim and Linda. We've got both Lindas in here, and we've got Becky. So thank you guys so much for viewing in today. If you are new to me, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Also, throw up some likes, share this video, and that will also get you entered into the giveaway that I do every week. So just know that just if you're not watching me live, you can still like and share the video and come in here and leave me a comment. I love to know where everybody is from, so come in here, tell me where you're watching me from. Let me know what your weather's like, because as you can see, I'm kind of a geeky weather person. So, I have been working my tail off because my husband signed up in the beginning of the year to do Comic-Con this year. Well, with the booth that he got at Comic-Con, it also is a table that we can use for crafts, for homemade crafting. So I'm going to show you just a couple of little things that I have made. I don't have everything done yet, but I have done quite a few of these cute little, they have a little packet of seeds in here. Thank you, Georgia, for liking and sharing. So they're little seed packets. I have those that I'm going to be selling. So I've got a whole stack of those, and it gave me an opportunity. Look, I've got them in different colors. So I've got the yellow, I've got the flirty flamingo, and we've got coastal cabana. I was using up papers that I just had extras of. And then I have this. This has got hot cocoa in here with a little Ghirardelli's little candy in there, little chocolate. And so that's like a little pocket, and it has kind of a little shape to it so the hot chocolate can sit in there without being pressed. So there's those that I'm going to sell. And then I have, we had to stop by the mall when we were out on Friday. I have these little antibacterial Bath and Body Works, and they fit perfect in this little box. And so I've done just a couple of these boxes with some leaves on it. I think on some of these little pumpkin ones, I'm going to use the Potions and Spells stamp set and dies to put like a little cauldron on there, maybe on the front, do the box in black, and then do one of those little, oh geez, why can't I get it out of here? It's stuck in here now. Hold on, let me get this out. It's stuck on the lamp. But right here, this little cauldron, there's actually a die right here. I think I'm gonna put that in front of that box, like it would just stick right to the front of the box, and do a couple of those for Halloween, decorate those up. That would be cute. And then, what else do I have? Oh, I have these. These are a little fingernail file. Now, I don't like the length of these fingernail files. It doesn't fit quite right in there. So when I ordered them, I didn't think about length. I just was looking for the depth of them. Again, I made it with this little thing to have it fit in there. But I think I'm going to order some smaller, shorter little files, because it covers the ribbon, and the ribbon's cute. You want to see that. So there's those. I'm going to be making, what else did I have in mind? I had something else, and now I can't remember. Oh, Post-it. Little Post-it pockets. I'm going to be doing some of those. So I will put like a little mini pin in with the little Post-it notes. So people can just keep those in their purse or whatever when you have a little note that you need to write out or give somebody your phone number or whatever. I'm going to do a couple of those up as well. And then I will have a bunch of little, like, I don't know if you guys can see this basket right here, but this little basket, I'll do a bunch of cards in those, and then those will be able to be purchased individually as well. So we have quite a good start at it. But I definitely have a lot of work to do. And then, so we're still waiting for the barn to come in. I was hoping that my husband would hear from him today and let him know that, hey, we're almost done and we will be delivering it later this week, because that'd be fabulous news. And that would put us at our around 2 weeks that they said it was going to be done. But no word yet. So fingers crossed that that happens soon. Oh no, Georgia had to have oh yeah, went to the doctor and had an x-ray, which killed. Wow, what kind of x-ray did they do to you that made you be in pain? Yikes. Well, I guess the only thing that comes to mind is because I have such back issues, and so I could only imagine, because when I've had to have like MRIs or CAT scans and that kind of stuff done, and they try to make me lay flat on those, you know, the little beds that they pull you in and out of to do x-rays and stuff or CAT scans, that kills my back. If I have to lay there at any amount of time, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is killing my hips. You guys better figure out that time is ticking here. So that's the only thing that I can think of with an x-ray hurting. So you will have to definitely let me know what that was that caused you pain during an x-ray, unless you broke something. And that is what is causing the pain, because that is real. Luckily, I have never broken a bone, but I do know people who have been in casts. And again, luckily, I've never had any of my kids break a bone. I've never had to deal with casts, never had to deal with any of that. Oh no, so it definitely was your back. Well, laying down flat would kill you, plus the slip disc is killing you. You are probably in an atrocious amount of pain, and my thoughts and prayers go out to you, my friend, because yeah, that is not good. Yikes. Ugh. Wow. I cannot even fathom that kind of pain. So you definitely take care of yourself, and I hope that they can figure out some way to help you. I do remember when I was younger and my mom, with one of her previous husbands, he was outside, and we lived in Bend, Oregon at the time, and it was super icy, and he had walked out the front door and went go down the stairs, and he slipped and fell on one of the steps, and that he blew one of his discs out, or I think he blew actually two of them out. And by the time they had kind of found out what had happened, he had like herniated discs and all that kind of stuff, and they wound up having to do surgery. And I just remember him having to bring a hospital bed home, and he was down for a couple of weeks because of that. So yeah, yikes. Yeah, I can imagine you screaming a lot. That I can 100% believe that one. Oh, but your cats come in and soothe you. See, they know that they're like, mom's in pain. She needs a hug. So they give you kitty hugs. Oh yes, Lake Oswego. Yep. I actually lived as soon when we moved from Bend, Oregon, and we were transitioning moving to Portland. My mom worked at the Safeway in Lake Oswego there on the main strip in town. And we actually lived on the lake with a couple of friends of ours when we first moved there, and we were trying to find a place and of our own to rent at the time, because she was going through a divorce, so she wasn't ready to buy anything quite yet. So yeah, we lived in Lake Oswego. It is a very, very cute little town. I don't know what it's like nowadays. I do know that I've heard that Portland has definitely changed. We've lived down here for 12 years now. From Portland, we moved down here. And they all say that it's definitely changed since we've been gone. We are taking a trip to Oregon in the last 2 weeks of September. So we'll be gone mid-September through the end or the beginning of October, going up there, visiting family and friends, and just getting, to go back up there and see everyone. So yeah, so I'm eager to get up there into the cooler. I know they've had some pretty warm days up there, but just getting up there where it's green, it's lush, and to see family and friends. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get you guys flipped around, and we are going to get into tonight's cards. I'm going to be using the Sweetly Scripted. Sweetly Scripted is part of our online exclusives only, so if you have not seen that set, I highly recommend you going into shopdannygarola.com. Go to the shop section. It will take you into the store, and on the side, you're going to see little, I think they're like little tick marks. And once you click on that, you can scroll down and hit shop all. And then you're going to see the online exclusives button. Once you hit that, it's going to take you into a whole new line of products that you may not have seen. You're not going to find them in any catalog. They're online exclusive. So if you have not seen those, I highly recommend. That's also where you're going to find our Halloween sets. Just so you know that they have released those in the online exclusives. Okay, you guys, so hold tight. Let me get you guys flipped around, and then we're going to talk a little bit, and then we are going to make some beautiful cards. So hold tight. Okay, I think that works. I hope that works. I have decided to put one of my grid mats on my glass mat here because otherwise we get some pretty crazy glare going on. And I always feel like that kind of bounces back and reflects in the camera and doesn't make for a good recording. So we are going to, I'm going to try to get this camera straight because it seems like it's really kind of goofy here. Okay, we're going to go with that. I think you guys can see everything. Yep, that's good. Okay. So we are in the paper pumpkin. This is for August. This is called Time for Cake. As you can see, this paper pumpkin is going to come with a additional free stamp set. So you're going to get your normal free stamp set that comes with your paper pumpkin. And then for this kit only, it's going to come with a free stamp set as well. And so this kit goes through August 10th. So you have through August 10th to subscribe to this paper pumpkin. Again, it's called Time for Cake. This is Bring On a Birthday Bash with elegant birthday cards made with rose gold details. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs. Project includes printed card bases, coordinating envelopes and labels. It has embellishments with rose gold cord. And like I said, it comes with an additional, so that's quite a deal that you're going to get 2 stamp sets in that. I thought I printed out, but apparently I didn't. Now don't forget that for the quarters, since our paper pumpkins are done quarterly now, they do come every month, but as a quarterly add-on, we do have the every celebrations dies. These coordinate with these paper pumpkin kits. So the hooray is going to coordinate with the Time for Cake, and then the leaf is going to coordinate with the September kit, and then this one went with July's kit. So pretty cool. Okay, so those are called the Every Celebrations Dies. Now those are ordered in my online store. The paper pumpkin, you can either subscribe to it or you can buy a prepaid subscription. You choose how you want to do it. Now you can find out more information on everything that I've talked about if you go to pinkbarnstamper.com. That's going to take you to my blog where you can hit the promotions button and read all the promotions that we have going on right now. And then there's also a paper pumpkin tab that you can click on that will take you in to see some of our older paper pumpkins, so you can see what paper pumpkin is even about. Like, what is this whole paper pumpkin thing? It is an all-in-one exclusive kit from Stampin' Up! That has a Stampin' ink pad in it. It comes with a stamp set. Unless this kit, you're going to get 2 stamp sets. It comes with everything that you need to create wonderful projects. So if you want to get started in crafting and you don't want to have all the things, our kits are the best way to go, or do our paper pumpkin. Okay, so those of you guys who shopped with me last month, you earned yourself some bonus rewards. So I know a lot of you guys have some rewards saved up, so you guys can start redeeming them as of Thursday, August 1st. You guys could have started redeeming them. So just know that you have until August 31st to start redeeming your coupons that you guys have on your orders. Remember that you can use as many of those codes on an order at a time. So there's that. We have a sale starting tomorrow. So mark your calendar, tomorrow, Tuesday the 6th. We have a sale starting on designer series paper. Now this is paper that is out of our annual catalog. So the big catalog, this one right here, this is where you're going to find the paper I have a blog post put up about this. You can actually go onto my blog post and you can download this little flyer right here that will show you each pack of designer series paper that is included in this sale. Now this is 15% off these selected designer series paper. Now the price is reflected on the flyer here. So if you want to know exactly the price and exact papers, you can download this, print it off, and have that. So then you can go through your stacks of paper and see which ones you need or ones that you need more of. So yeah, that is available for you guys over on the blog. That again, blog is pinkbarnstamper.com. And then, of course, I just have to show you that this is the upcoming mini catalog. So those of you who are customers of mine, you are already in my mailing selector, and these will be on the way to you through Stampin' Up. They're going to mail these directly to you, and they should be showing up in your mailbox the 3rd or 4th week of September of August in your mailboxes. If you were a previous customer or if you are a current customer of mine, only 12 by 12s, right? No, actually, because the Full of Life is a 6 by 6. The Bright and Beauty is a 6 by 6. Lily Pond Lane is a 6 by 6. And Thoughtful Journey is a 6 by 6 as well. So yeah, you've got a couple of the 6 by 6 packs that are available on that sale as well. Okay, so if you are not a current customer of mine, there is a form that you can fill out if you would like a catalog sent to you in the mail. Now, just know that I will not be able to have these catalogs in my hands until about the 2nd or 3rd week of August, and then I can start mailing those out to people. But you can go ahead and request one of these catalogs, and I will add you to my list to get those in the mail to you as soon as I can have them, if you would like one of these catalogs. Now, those can be, that request form is on every single one of my blog posts. All you have to do is scroll down on the blog post. So when you start my blog, you're going to see little different blog posts. Now at the side, it's at the bottom of the pictures, you're going to see where it says read more. When you hit the read more button, that's going to open up the full post. Then when you scroll down, you're going to see the annual catalog. You're going to see a picture of it. And then it says, want a, what does it say? Want a hard copy. And then below the photo, there's a little like wording thing. And then in blue, it says request a catalog. That's what you have to click, and then just fill out that form to me. And then that mails that to me, emails it to me. So then I will have the form to have you guys put down on that. Okay, so let's get to our giveaways for last week's video. Okay, we have, last week we played with the pumpkin patch scenery, which is a really, really cute set. Again, it is in our online exclusives, but we created this really cute, simple layout here. This one here for commenting last week. So when you come in, say hi to me, let me know that you've liked and shared my video so I can get you entered into the giveaway for those two. This card here is going to go to Miss Denise Wager. So Denise, this is going to be coming in the mail to you. Thank you so much for commenting in last week's video. Okay, then for liking last week's video, we made this cute little fun fold here with this little flap from the Nested Essentials dies. This is just a little scored flap here tucked behind the background. Now, if you're interested in knowing how to create any of these cards, you can go again, to my blog, and you can find the Scenic Pumpkin Patch, or what the heck is that stamp set called? Oh, Scenic Pumpkin Patch, that's what it's called. When you find that blog post, you can click on it, and then I have shopping lists and the project sheet that will show you how to make each one of these cards. So that one is going to Linda Hunt. Linda Hunt, this is coming to you. Thank you so much for liking last week's video. Okay, and then for sharing last week's video, we have this really pretty little scenery that I created with this card. I went from the bigger pumpkins and gradiated down to the smaller pumpkins, put the little house in the background with some really pretty little clouds up there. And then I did those little, oh look, I have an embellishment that decided to hitchhike here. I did the little pumpkins in the inside and this little card along with a pack of the Also Ombre. Now this is an older paper, but it is still very usable. You're going to love this paper. It does have that ombre effect, and there's, I think, 4 different colors that it comes in. This is quite a big paper pack. This has got 48 sheets of the 6x6 paper in it. So those two there for sharing last week's video are going to go to Miss Nancy Olson. So Nancy, thank you so much for sharing my video. Thank you all for coming in and liking, sharing, commenting, and I look forward to the giveaways for this next week as well. And we will be giving away the cards that I make tonight. Okay, so that being said, I am using the Sweetly Scripted. Now this is all about these really fun sentiments. Now, these are in different fonts. I think they're so cute. And I know this is just a standalone stamp set. There's no dies that are coordinated with it. You can coordinate many of our dies with tons of different ideas that you come up with. But what I am going to do is I am going to be using, this is called the Country Birdhouse dies. I'm only going to use a couple of the flowers in this along with a couple of the little leaves. That's the only reason why I'm bringing this die set in. Now, if you already have this set and you don't want the country bird, that's okay. You could use any of the flowers from any of your other sets that would work for this as well. Okay, and then another tool that I am using is I am using the Simply Scored. You're going to see me score a couple of the papers using this handy tool. Now, I know I'm going to get the question, can I score with my, my trimmer? You probably could. You could probably figure out how to do it. But I'm going to stick with this because this does it in my, it's every 8th. And so I need that for one of the cards that I'm going to be showing you guys. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be using this as well. And I'm sure there's probably a ton of you that do have that or something like it. I know there's other companies out there that have score tools also. Now, any of you guys, if you have any questions for me or anything pertaining to anything that I'm showing you guys, you can always email me at stampinthepinkbarn@gmail.com. Now, there are no spaces in that. It's just stampinthepinkbarn@gmail.com. Or if you know that I do not have your address, when you are a winner, you can email me your address, and that I think I have everybody's address. I'll have to look and see. Nancy, if you're watching or you see this in the next week, if you know that I have your address, then don't worry about it. But if you could, if you don't think I do, then shoot me an email at stampinthepinkbarn@gmail.com with your address so I can get your prize sent to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So as you guys know, when you go in and you shop with me weekly, I do my card kits as a free thank you to you guys. When you place an order of $35 or more and you use my current host code. So this is a new host code for the month of August. As you can see, this changes every month. I know people ask me all the time, why do you change your host code? Well, because Stampin' Up! Requires us to change those every 45 days. So I do it every month just to make sure that I don't like wind up forgetting to close it out or whatever. So I do it every month because then that holds me accountable that I know when my host codes are done with. So if it falls in the middle of a week, then I'll just continue it until the following month, like I have done for this week or for this month. I carried my last one through the first week of August. And now that we're into a new week, I started my new host code for you guys. So again, when you go in and you make a merchandise order of $35 or more, so again, that is before shipping tax, and you use my host code QQA7VVET, then you are going to get a fancy little kit in the mail that has all the items that you're going to need to create the 3 cards that we're making in today's class. So, kind of fun. You're going to get the envelopes and all that, so then you can enjoy these cards and mail them to your family and friends as well. All right, so for the first card, I'm going to go ahead and take out the pieces that I need here. And I need to grab myself, and I forgot to grab my card inside, so I forgot that I sent out a bunch of birthday cards at the beginning of the month, and I used all my insides of my cards, and now I need the innies. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut some of these out so we have those for making our insides look nice. Oh, I cut that way too short. See, that's what I get for not thinking correctly. There we go. We've at least got a couple there. That'll work. So just know that when your packet comes to you, you will have the inside piece of your card on the back side of your card base. I keep them organized that way, so then you know what piece is used for the inside, and then all your front pieces will be on the front of your card base. Okay. So my card base, and you will find all the dimensions and the cutting, scoring, more photos when we are done with this. It will be up for you guys to go over there and view tomorrow morning over at pinkbarnstamper.com. You will see the replay of this video and everything that you're going to need, the shopping list to create these cards that I'm sharing with you tonight. So this is boho blue for my card base. This is 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. I'm going to fold that in half and find where my bone folder is hiding. And here it is. I'm gonna just give that a really nice crease there for that. Now, this card is going to be going landscape style. This is a very, very fun, easy layout for you guys to get you guys using your paper. Now, all I need is 2 pieces of designer series paper and my card base. That's it. Along with the sweetly scripted stamp set that you're going to need as well. Now, just know that in the kits, the only thing you're going to get is you're going to get all your cut pieces of paper, any kind of ribbon that I use, I give you guys that as well. But you will need your own sweetly scripted stamp set. I don't stamp anything for you. All right, so my first piece that I have here is 2 inches, and my second piece is 1 1/4. So what we're going to do with this is I'm going to take my first piece. So what you could technically do is take a 3 1/4 piece of designer series paper by 5.5 inches long, and then just cut it at the 2-inch mark to leave you with a 1 1/4 inch piece and then your 2-inch piece. I did that because I wanted my pattern to be followed through, so you can see where the trees have been cut, and then you can see the flowers and stuff, so it just looks like it's been split apart for us to put our sentiment in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adhere these right to my card base. Now the bigger piece, the 2-inch, is going to go at the top where your fold is. Just like so. And then your 1 1/4. Now I'm going to go ahead and open this card base up so I can see exactly where my edge is. And then this piece is going to go at the bottom front. And it's going to line up perfectly with your card base. Okay. And then now you have, I believe that's a 1 inch. Yep, a 1 inch space in between there. So that's what our card's going to look like. Now I am going to take my happy birthday. Now I did realize that I needed to use my extra large rectangle block for this one. This is the I block. Oh, this fly is driving me nuts. He was hiding in the window, and when I moved the blinds over, here he comes trucking out of there. So the H block is not quite big enough for this stamp to fit on. So I had to bring out my my I block. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab my Night of Navy. And again, I'm going to open this card up so I make sure it is nice and flat. Ink that up nice and juicy. And then this is just going to get stamped right in the center of this. Now I like to give it a couple of seconds to marinate into that paper so that paper absorbs that ink nicely and you get a really crisp stamped image. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my chamois here and just clean this off. Flip that chamois over. Ugh. Okay. And then that card is complete. Again, a very, very simple, but really pretty, nice card to send to somebody. You could add some embellishments to this. I was kind of looking at my embellishments and I couldn't quite decide what I thought would look good on there. Now we do have these. Those might look good. We just do one of those on each side. Let's see. Yeah, those are kind of pretty. Those the silver ones. Maybe we'll add some of those. So I'm going to take these bigger ones here. Whoops. Towards the end. maybe what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put one there. I'm gonna take a smaller one, put it right there, and then do another big one and put it right there. There we go. Just to add just a little bit of bling over here on the side. Very, very cute, but again, simple. I really like the way that turns out. Now, again, with this stamp set, it gives you a birthday, a thank you, or actually a million thanks, speedy recovery, save the date, congratulations, and happy anniversary. So just by changing any of the paper around, you could actually use any of those sentiments in this really sweet card. Now, the paper that I did decide to use, this is part of the Countryside End, or N, not end. Helps if I say that correctly. N is in INN, like a hotel or an inn. Now what I'm gonna do for my inside, and I can move my embellishments back, is I'm going to cut that same paper. I'm just gonna do a little 1/2 inch strip from a little scrap here. And then this inside is 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm just gonna cut a little 5 1/4 by a 1/2 inch strip there. And then this will just get lined up right here in the inside. Okay, just like that. Okay, and there is our first. Very cute. Very pretty with your designer series paper. Again, use any of the papers that you have. You probably have a long stamp set that you could actually do a sentiment, and you could probably knock out quite a few of these cards in one shebang. Put those aside if you need to have some birthday cards sitting around. There you go for a great little fast idea. Okay, so that's card number 1. Now, card number 2, we're going to be using Save the Date. Now, I had a friend of mine reach out to me this last week and ask me if I had any Save the Date cards. She wanted me to create some cards. It's her daughter's, they're having a quinceañera for her daughter. She's turning 15. Now, her daughter has the same Rett syndrome as my daughter has, so they're buddies. They're little besties. So she is turning 15 this year, the end of this year, and asked me if I had any Save the Date. Well, I didn't, and that is what took me to this set, because I was looking at Save the Date. What do we have as a stamp set for a Save the Date? Well, then I asked her, I was like, okay, so what do you need what was your theme? What were you looking for? And that's when she let me know it was for the daughter, because most of it is like either anniversary party or a wedding party or an anniversary or a bridal party. So when I came up with this little idea, you guys are going to like this, but this is where we're going to need to use that scoreboard. Okay, so all of my pieces here are inside of this envelope. So let me get all of my stuff out here. Okay, so my inside piece is right there. I am using the basic gray. Now this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25 again. This card will be going portrait style. So we're going to set that aside. The next piece that I need is another piece of basic gray. This is 4 by 5.25. And then I have a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5.25. Now those will layer exactly together, but we're gonna do some fun things with this white piece. So I'm gonna just set that there. I also need a little, this is a, probably about 7/8, or no. About 1/8 of an inch of my silver foil. And then I have a little 1/2 inch strip of black, and then the inside of my card, which I'm going to put there. I am using Berry Burst, just a scrap of that, and Old Olive, a scrap of that. But we're going to do some stuff with this here, bringing in my score, my Simply Scored. I might need to move this stuff out of the way over here. Okay, there we go. And I need to have my little white piece here, and down here on the bottom, if you can see this, there is your little scoring tool down here. So I'm going to be using the bigger end. One side has a very, very tiny little nib on it, and the other side has kind of a bigger nib. I'm going to be using this side. So what I need to do, again, this is 4 by 5.25, my white piece. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take the right hand top corner, and I'm going to place it on my 2.5 mark. And then with my left top corner, I'm going to place that on my 3 1/8, which it kind of, ironically, kind of just matches up there. Okay. And then I'm going to just slide that right in that little notch. And when I do that, I'm going to now start scoring at every, what is it? Was it every 1/2 inch? Okay, so I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to go at a 1/2 inch, and then I just kind of run this down and let it be my guide. So there's my first 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to come to the, hold on a second. I think I already screwed up. So hold on, I'm going to fix that really quick. There we go. Okay, line that up with 2.5. Line this up at the 3 1/4 or 3 1/8. So now I need to start at the 1/2 inch. I started at the 1/4 inch. So then I'm just going to run that just like that. Okay, do the same thing at the 1 inch mark. Just run that straight down. Then I'm going to go to the 1.5. And all you do is just push that down in there. Then I'm going to go to the 2. Then go to the 2.5. Go to 3. 3.5. 4. 4.5. 5. 5.5. 6. And then I think 6.5. Okay, 6.5 you don't need to worry about. Now, we have this sitting here. What we need to do is we need to take this and turn it a 1/4 of a turn to the left. So we're going to take it and we're just going to flip this just like so. So now your left top corner is going to be at the 3 mark, and your bottom left corner is going to be at the 4¼ mark. Again, it almost lines up perfectly there just when you set this on there. Okay, and then you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to start at the half mark and you're going to run down a half. Come over here and do the half and then do the 1. Do the 1½. Do 2, 2½, 3, 3½, 4, 4½. That probably sounds very, very redundant. 5, 5½. And then that little 6 will just be just a very little piece there. So now you've got, we can put our score tool aside. So now you've got this really neat little gridded piece that you've just created. Now, the other side is bumped and raised. I'm going to use the part that is inset, where we just scored down. Okay, so now we have this piece. I need to now bring in my trimmer here, and I am going to trim off, I think I'm going to go to about right here, where I'm going to leave just a little bit of this corner. So I am cutting this. Maybe I should turn it around this way and show you guys, because then I can tell you the measurements. I'm going to, because I want to leave a little bit of this here and a little bit of that corner. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to set this at the 2 3/4 inch mark. Okay, but then I'm watching my lines. I'm lining my lines up on here. So maybe I want to go this way a little bit, right, like so. So my corner piece, my corner here is going to be on my 1/2 inch mark. And then I'm going to make sure that that same line is still on that 1/2 inch mark. Actually, no, I don't want that. Let's see. Because I want to leave a little bit of this corner here. So I'm going to actually go this way. I am going to look at this line, which is, it's lined up pretty much right to the corner of this. This would be considered my bottom left. So I'm going to line that line right there. I'm going to line that up on my, let's see, because we want to leave a little bit of this corner. So I'm going to line it up on my 1/4 mark of my right hand side of my trimmer. That's going to line up on that 1/4 mark. And then when I cut that, I'm going to have this taken off, and this will be what the part that's going to go on my card. So as you can see, I lined that up with my trimmer with this line sitting on the corner, that corner line sitting on my 1/4 inch line. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm done with the trimmer for the moment. Now what we're going to do with this piece is we are going to take this and we are going to adhere it right to that 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic gray. I probably made that sound a lot more complicated than what it needed to be. Oh yeah, see, and Kimberly, like she said, she puts a piece of like a Post-it note, and that's how she holds her paper so it doesn't move around when she goes to shut her paper trimmer, so she doesn't wind up having it shift as she's trying to cut anything. Okay, so that is what that's going to look like. Then we're going to take that little thin piece here of our and I happen to already have this little piece just be cut over here, but normally if you have just a long piece, again, this is a, what did we say? 3/16 of a piece, pretty much. So if you just put that on here, like so, that's just going to kind of fit right in our seam. So I'm just gonna put just a little thin line of glue. Line that up right there in that seam, and it fits perfectly in there. Okay, and then flip it over, cut off your, you're gonna probably have a piece hanging off on this edge and on this edge. So we're gonna cut that off just like that. Then we have a piece of black, and what I'm going to do with this black is I am going to use some white embossing powder and my Versamark pad. If I can find what I did with my Versamark. Oh, there it is. It's up in the wrong thing. There's my Versamark. And I need my little embossing buddy here. I'm just gonna rub this across here just to make sure I get all fingerprints, static, all that kind of stuff off of there. Now I'm going to use that save the date. And my eye block. Okay, I'm gonna do my Versamark. We're going to, what is this little piece here that's driving me nuts? We're going to ink this up in our Versamark. Now Versamark is clear. It's like a sticky ink that will hold our embossing powder until we get it heat set. So I'm just gonna stamp this right on this little 1/2-inch piece. And I think I overshot that. I did. So we're gonna flip this over. Or actually, we're just gonna get a new piece because I bumped that out of my hands and that's not gonna work. So let me grab my trimmer. I have another long piece of black here. So we're gonna cut another 1/2-inch from here. Okay, this is excessively long, but whatever, it's gonna do. And again, take my little embossing buddy and just kind of run that down that to get fingerprints. Now let's hope that I don't move this time. Okay. I'm going to do save the date right on there. Much better. Okay, move that, close that up before I even open my embossing powder because I don't want that getting on anything. And then with my embossing powder here, I have the white embossing powder. And I just have a little spoon in here. And then when I set that in, just kind of dump that over the top. just like that. Okay, I'm going to close that up before I bring in my heat tool. Now with my heat tool, I'm going to give that a couple of seconds to heat up, and it only takes a couple of seconds so that sucker gets hot. And then I'm going to hold that on that white powder that we just added and give that just a couple of seconds to heat up, and then it's going to melt that to that paper kind of like butter. And then just as you see it melt, just keep your paper kind of moving down the line. And on some of these thinner little pieces of paper, just do be careful so you don't burn yourself, especially when you're holding it, and if you get by your thumb, it does get extremely hot. Okay, there's that. And we do recommend that when your heat tool is not in use, to unplug it. I have heard stories in the past where people's little fur babies have run by and they had their heat tools sitting either on a tabletop, it fell down to the floor and it got clicked on, and it will start a fire. Also, it could potentially hurt your fur babies, and we never want that to happen. So please always make sure you unplug those when they're not in use. Okay, so now what we need to do with this is we are going to take this piece and we are going to run this right at the top portion of that silver. So it's going to hang just like that. And then we're going to cut this. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. And then take this and lay this right on the corner here. Just like so. Give that a second to adhere onto that. Okay, and then again, we're going to flip it over. We're going to cut off that extra strip there and down here, just like so. Okay, so that's how that's starting to look so far. Now we're going to take our two pieces of our scraps here, and then what did I do with the, there they are. Now what I have decided to do is take the larger flower from this, and I'm going to cut that out twice on the berry burst. And then with the old olive here, I'm going to take, there is a set of 2 leaves, and then there is a 1 single leaf right here. I'm going to take those and put those on that and cut those out. Okay, so my leaves are good. Come on, get off of there. I can put those away. I do need my flower one more time. Okay, there's my other little flower. So let me add these back on here so I don't lose them. Because we don't want to lose, especially these little tiny dies like this. Sometimes they can get lost in the shuffle. You don't want to have to order a whole new die set just for one little leaf. I mean, it's happened. Ugh. And it's frustrating, but I don't want to do that again. Okay, so there's all of our leaves in our flower. Okay, so now what we need to do is make sure we have all of our pieces here. So I am going to take a little dot of glue and just dab that right in the center of that flower. And then now alternating, let me grab a little, where's my little tweezers so you can see what I'm doing. Well, why is it when I always look for those dang little tweezers, I can never find the darn things? I swear, they hide. Okay, well, I don't know where the tweezers went. So I'm just going to try to hold this and show you. So you're going to see how this flower is this way, the petals are, you're going to alternate the petals on this one like so. So it kind of just fills in that empty space. Huh, now I'm going to have to be on a hunt for my little black tweezers. Normally I have them sitting with my stuff to emboss because if I need to hold a little piece, I don't want to burn my fingers with the heat tool. Well, oh well. Okay, so now we're going to take this little leaf and just on the stems, we're going to put that one just like so. Give that a second to adhere together. And then on this leaf, we're going to do the same thing just on this little stem here. And then just tuck it behind and hide it. Kind of like that. Okay, then we've got that cute little flower. And then what we're going to do with that is I'm going to take and use a little rhinestone once we get this on here. So I'm just going to put a mini glue dot, actually. I'm going to use a mini glue dot. In the center of that to adhere that to my card. So I'm going to turn it this way where the little single leaf is coming down here and the upper ones are going at the top. I'm just going to place it right there on the end of that black strip. That's cute. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. Now I'm on the end of my dimensional pack here, so we're going to use some of our little leftover ends. We don't ever want this stuff to go to waste because it does the same job as a regular dimensional. So just like that. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to put this right on our card front, like so. That just gives us a little bit of a lift there. And then with my little rhinestone here, I'm going to take the little rhinestone and just put it right in the center of that flower. Isn't that sweet? Now, I liked, oh, I have cat hair all over the front of my shirt. My son's cat was out visiting today. He likes to come sit in my window and visit me. I've had to ban him from my room in here because he likes to come in and eat my little plant. My husband bought me a little, I don't even know what kind of plant it is, but the cat comes in and eats the leaves off of it. And I'm like, you turd, that's my plant. That's pretty. Leave it alone. Crazy cat. So I've had to shut the door and make sure he doesn't come in here. But there is our, it's pretty, again, it's a simple layout, but I think it's so crisp and pretty. Now, that being said, depending on the color of the theme of the save the date, you can change this around. I just like kind of this simple, kind of a muted down, or what do they call it? Chromatic color to it. And then you can just put your little pop of color with whatever flower you want. But this I thought would go for a quinceañera because it's kind of a younger looking, especially like with the font, but you could really go, look at this. I created, where did I put it? Of course I won't be able to find it just because I told you guys to, hold on. And of course I can't find it, but you can make the squares bigger. I think I put it down here in this drawer. I did. Yep. Okay, look at this. So then you guys can, if you wanted to, you can take, instead of doing every 1/2 inch, like I've done here with scoring, you could take every 1 inch and score it that way and put that in its place. You could do that. The other really pretty thing that I was thinking, especially if you were going to do like a wedding, save the date, or an anniversary, you could take any color of our embellishments, but I like the rhinestone look to it. You could take a bunch of these little rhinestones and you actually can put them right in the center of each one of these intersecting lines, and that is beautiful. You could do the same thing on this. You're going to have a lot of them on this little piece though, because you do have little 1/2 inch pieces. This would probably be a lot better. You could actually probably turn this and just do it this way with your save the date across here with a little piece of this. Just cut this down one of the lines and you could do that for a save the date. That would be really pretty. And then you add those to each little intersection and just makes this pop and is so blingy. But there is our little save the date. Not sure how I would want to kind of do the inside of this. I think I would probably just do a solid white inside. You could always take, because then on the inside it's going to have your like RSVP. If you have the stamp set, I think mine might be over at my mom's house. Oh, well, hold on. Is this it? No, I don't think this is it. But sometimes you have these stamp sets that have like 2 from RSVP. You could do that in the inside of here, stamp that on there, and they will have their cards already ready to just be mailed out. That all they have to do is the person has to just fill it out and send, you know, it back to them, or however they want it done. Or it just says, you know, RSVP this number, it's for so-and-so for a quinceañera. And so that would be really pretty also. So that's the little idea that I came up with, the save the date. I've never done a save the date card, but I just think that turned out kind of classy, and yeah, it's a little bit fancy. So yeah, so Georgia, she likes the smaller little scoring versus the big. So absolutely, it is personal preference. You do it how you see fit on your card. So there is card number 2. Okay, card number 3. Let me clean this stamp off here. I'm going to move my embellishments. And then for this next card, I'm going to do Speedy Recovery. If I can find it, there it is right there. So Speedy Recovery, because I do know there are quite a few people dealing with some elements right now that, you know, everybody could use a little pick-me-up. Okay, so for this card, I am using this beautiful Berry Burst. It's also the color that I used on my little flower right here. It's just kind of a bright and cheery color, especially if you're sending this to somebody who is recovering. Again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25 is my card base. Okay, this is again going to be a landscape card. Oh, there you go. Linda said that the Around We Go has a to and from stamp. That would work also. My mom actually just got that card in the mail. I think her package came in on, maybe it was Thursday or Friday. I forgot to borrow it from her so I can share it with you guys. But I will be probably doing a class with that set because that set is so versatile. Let me show you that set that she's talking about, because that is a very worthy stamp set to have. Now I just got to find it here. Just so you guys can see more of a visual what I was saying about having the inside right here. This is the Around We Go. There's actually this really cool die that makes these little wheels that are foldable wheel, and they're so pretty. I can't remember what they call those, but this has that stamp, the to and from, like what she's talking about. There's day, year, month here. So, I mean, you could do a lot with this stamp set. I've seen some really fun 4th of July cards, also New Year's cards with this. It's one of those sets that you can use for so many. And then you've got some really fun pieces over here to play around with as well. So that's the set that Linda is talking about. Okay, so we have this piece here, Berry Burst. Okay, my little strip that I'm using, this is from our, I think it's called Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper. See the Berry Burst? That's why I chose that, because it goes with this Designer Series paper. I am using this piece right here because I love that it had all those flowers mix mashed on there, and it was just kind of a busy piece because we're using a white card layer. So for that, I just wanted that little kind of busy strip of that on there. But I love how you've got the crumb cake. You've got a lot of the pretty colors that coordinate with this paper. This paper is going to be on that sale as well. Okay, so let me move my stuff out of the way so we can bring in our score, Simply Scored again. So for this piece here, this is 4 by 5.25. This is our basic white. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to lay this right up in the top corner. As you can see, I am going to score at the 7/8 mark, which is the tick mark. So let me show you. It is the mark right before the 1. That is 7/8 because it starts out with your 8s across here, and then 7/8 is the furthest one over. So you have 1, 7/8 is to the left of that. Okay, so we're gonna do 7/8. Just go straight down. Then we are going to do 1. Okay, so it's only a 7/8 separation there. Then we're going to go over to our 2 mark, and then we're going to do 2 1/8. So it's the tick mark right to the right of the number 2. So here's our line number 2, and this little tick, this little short one right here is our 1/8. Okay, so we're going to do the 2 on this one, and then we're going to do 2 1/8 on this one. Okay, so that's what we need on that. Then we're going to flip that over, because now we want to see the raised lines. So on the other one, we did this side where they were pushed down. Now we're flipping this over and we are doing this with them popped up. They're raised now. Can you see that? Okay, now with that being said, we have our little strip of designer series paper. This is 3/4 of an inch long. And then our paper is 5 1/4. So that's gonna fit, because since we did this an inch in between, now we're going to put this right in the center of those two lines, just to kind of separate that raised look there. Just a really pretty little effect. I almost thought I had my paper upside down. I was gonna say, ay, 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 stop. So I'm just watching the margin in between those lines. And then give that a good press. And then we are going to cut the excess off. Okay, that's what that looks like so far. We're going to take Speedy Recovery, and I'm going to use my Memento Black. And I'm just going to stamp that right on the front here, down on the lower portion, just like so. So there you see, we've got our 2 lines, designer series paper, because there's an inch between there, and that is a 3/4 inch piece of designer series paper, 2 more of those raised lines, and then our really cute little sentiment here. Okay, now that is simply going to get added to the front of our card, just like so. Okay, there's that. I'm going to use these are called the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And I'm going to use the Berry Burst ones. And I'm going to use the smaller of the 2. I'm going to do 1 right there. 2 right there. Right above that line, and then at the 3rd one. Just like that. So just 3 of those little gems on that, just I think adds such enough little bling to really kind of dress this pretty little card up. Okay, and then let me grab an innie since I destroyed mine. I made them too small. So where did I put my trimmer? Back here. So now let me cut this down to 5 1/4. See, I screwed up and cut the other paper at 5. Because surprise, surprise, I was talking too much. I know that sounds like a shock to all of you guys. Danny, talk too much? Never. Okay, there's that. We're going to grab a little strip of that cute paper and just kind of carry that whole look to the inside. So I'm going to cut this time I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch of that. And we are going to add this again to the bottom. Kind of nice to add just this little detail of that same designer paper into the inside, so it just kind of flows with the whole design of the card, taking it from the outside into the inside also. Yep, I've done that, Georgia. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, have I done that one. I've missed my own driveway because I've been gabbing with my mom too much. Karen, you are very welcome, and absolutely case the heck out of my cards. Medallion, that's the word that I was looking for. Thanks, Vicki. Karen, I think it is an honor to have somebody case my cards. There are some people who do get butthurt when somebody else cases their work. I don't. I actually take it as a compliment that somebody else has found what I'm doing, because that's my job, is I teach you guys how to make these cards and how to use different techniques and different papers and to do different kinds of things. And so it's an honor when you guys use my creations. And I mean, I just think it's an honor. So to each his own. But yes, case away, please. Okay. So here are the 3 cards that we have done today. I guess the only thing that kind of, I should probably clarify before I say that, the only thing that I guess would probably bother me is if somebody was to take my idea and then take notoriety for it. I guess that would be the biggest thing, is if somebody was to take my card design that I have come up with to create for you guys and then try to say that they have taken that design. I guess that would probably, I don't even know if it would offend me. I think I would just probably be like, hey, you know what? Just give me a shout out or whatever. I guess that's more of what I'm trying to say. But no, I love it when other people use my ideas, send them out to your friends. I even tell my teammates, because there will be my team will be watching me, and I'm like, hey, you guys, use this during one of your in-person classes. Like, here's some ideas for you guys. Because we all have to have inspiration from somebody. And so, you know, if it takes another person to get our creative juices flowing, then that's the way it is. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the cards that I created for you guys tonight. Again, they're on the simple side for my likings, but I will tell you, it was actually kind of nice to be able to have, there you go, Karen, clean and simple. Absolutely. I loved the fact that these were very clean, very simple, and the fact that you could make these in mass production if you needed to. Like, there's my monthly birthday thing that I do over on my private group, Pink Barn Stampers group. If you're not a part of that, please go over to Facebook and join that. I have a thing set up where if you let me know your birthday, I will ask you for your address. You can email me your address and I will send you a birthday card on your day and your month. So it's just kind of fun to have something like this that is clean and simple, but then I can make multiples of them and have them ready to go when I need to make a birthday card. So same with this. You can switch this up and put the happy birthday in there. With this stamp set, you've got quite a different variety of occasions that you can use in place of the speedy recovery. I just like that because, again, I know a lot of people who need kind of some not necessarily sympathy, but some kind of pick-me-up cards because they're sick or they've been hurt. And, you know, just kind of one of those things. That is okay, Wendy. You can definitely catch the replay. I'm glad that you were able to come in and say hi. I love seeing you pop in here. It's been a hot minute. I know it's kind of been quite an adjustment for everybody switching over to YouTube, but it does make life so much simpler. I will tell you that. And I'm always looking for that simple, especially when it comes to technology. I am not a techie person. My husband's like, oh, so you need to get on there and do those little clip videos that, yeah, I'm sure you guys have probably seen it on like Instagram or whatever, where people do like little short making up a card. I'm like, yes, I know I need to get on there and do it, but it's intimidating. It is. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, that's something that would take me out of my comfort zone. And I know I could do it. I know it would be no problem, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I just have to do it. And then once I do it, then I'm like, aha, there we go. It wasn't that big of a deal. But I get in my own head. I'm a typical woman. I get in my own head and I tell myself it's way worse than what it really is. And then I do it and I'm like, oh my Lord, what was I so worried about? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I know you do. So, all right, you guys have a very, very wonderful week. I will be posting over on the Facebook page, Pink Barn Stamper. I will be posting over there the mystery stamping dimensions on Wednesday the 7th. And I will have a photo up with the dimensions of all the cardstock and pieces that you're going to need to collaborate when we do our mystery stamping live, which will be on Wednesday the 14th. I will be doing the live for mystery stamping. Now, that is exclusive to the people over on Pink Barn Stampers group, so that's where you'll be able to submit your cards. And I do the mystery stamping live in that private group. So keep watch. I will get a graphic put up over there so you guys can join that. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. I love you all. Bye-bye.